The year was 83. It was there an old cowpuncher stepped up and said to me, "How do you do, young fellow, and how would you like to go and spend a pleasant summer out in New Mexico?"
We dried land farm beans and corn with a team of horses and a one-way plow. I don't remember what year the first tractor I got was a John Deere, probably like in 1960. Well, actually up in the mountains and at the windmill. Then the spring water was used for drinking water and household, and also we had a dirt tank below the spring to collect water and then water a garden from it. Grandpa Juanito was running cows there on that mountain when the Forest Service acquired the mountain or occupied it, whatever. So he kind of a grandfather in for the permit.
My great grandpa had acquired the permit before the Forest Service even existed. He became the first lookout up on Capilla Peak in the Manzano Mountains, and the Forest Service granted a grazing permit towards him, and it has been the only permit that has consistently stayed with a family over the past 100 years. So typically we'll move cows down from the valley ranches to forest during the growing season. So he grew up deep in the Manzano Mountains with his family. He quit school at 7th grade to become a sheep herder. The ranch that he grew up on has a natural spring which my great grandma would use as watering purposes for household. It also has a spring box which she built an acequia on to replenish her garden, which was in between a well and the spring box.
In 1957, actually around Thanksgiving and a little bit after, we drove a bunch of cows from Gran Quivira down to Chole, and then west of the Manzano Mountains, across the Bicker Flats, across the Rio Grande, across the old Highway 85, which is now Interstate 25, and on west to the Romero Ranch, which is probably around 125 miles from Gran Quivira to that Lucero Mesa where the Romero Ranch is. When we crossed the Rio Puerco, it was a little buggy, and we had a few cows bogged down, but we were able to drag them out with horses.
So he drove over 110 miles of numerous cattle to a rail yard, because back then cattle weren't shipped by trucks, they're shipped by railroad cars. So the cool thing about this is in last year we were able to brand that same ranch where he drove cows back in 1957. So actually being there, it was pretty awesome because I was there almost 60 years later where he was, and being able to see all the buildings, seeing the little shack that he stayed at, and seeing just the landscape, it really connected me to him more.
It feels so true, when I'm with you I'm free. A place I go that feels like home to me, and it feels so true.